Alrighty. Hello, collective. Welcome. So, I'm just gonna go right into the messages here. Please say what resonates as always. And if you want something more personal, you know where to find me. Website is in the same place. Okay, let's get into it. First and foremost, somebody could come off as really cringy to you right now during this time. I don't know if somebody is returning that is acting this way, or they could be viewing you this way. Keep in mind, yesterday was the full moon in Libra and it was an eclipse. People can act really out of character, okay? And literally next week is going to be the Mercury retrograde. So if people are just doing the most, acting kind of out of the character or weird, there might be some sense to this, okay? But I'm picking up on cringy. Um, and I feel like they're doing so. Specifically, those are coming back in during the retrograde, but they're already starting now because it's like a pre energy. I feel like you are probably viewing them as cringy. I think it's the other way around because again, energy could be vice versa here. But I really do feel like if anyone is coming back into your life where you just like, you never, your season has ended, you're gonna view them as cringe worthy. So there's that. Okay, I don't know what else to do, but I feel like it's pretty obvious to deal with people that are cringy. I personally would just, distance myself. But I feel like you already are. These are people that want to return to your life for a reason. And it's always because you're on a different vibration frequency than them. You have things that they don't have. You are operating in a way where they want to, but they can't really attain the same wave, if that makes sense. But okay. So we're gonna move on. There is that. Message number two is that there is speculation, there is gossip about you being dumped, okay? Or somebody being dumped. I really do feel like, again, like this, the other message is pertaining to the one that's watching this reading here, okay? So there have been speculations, there are speculations. They came in heavy during the Libra full moon eclipse. Um, I feel like the gossip is just a little bit of a razzle dazzle because of the effect of the eclipse. People be doing the most. This is one of those factors where they are doing the most. Um, and keep in mind, collective, the reason why people are talking about you is because you don't associate them yourself with them, so they need to have something to like talk about. So, all right. I feel like you know who these people are. Keep on distancing yourself. I will say this though. If they're on your mind constantly and you feel this energy of these people, whether they're clingy or gossiping here, I heavy feel like that is kind of like a door for you kind of to link your energy with them again so they can kind of free fall into the retrograde. Because some of the people you have the authority or the the lens to kind of shut them off from your life. But if you're feeling this already, I feel like that's just like a again segue into them like coming through in the physical. Unless you have seen or heard this, what I mentioned previously, um, in the physical, this is just again a gateway for them to come in during the retrograde and just leech off your energy. That's really what it is. Okay, there is, I don't need to shuffle no cards. I don't need to over inner explain. It's pretty simple. You're at a stage in your life where they're not, and they want to see how you're doing it, and they want to jump on that same train. It's that simple. Okay, 444 on the clock. You're on the right path. Wherever you are in your life, uh, is exactly where you need to be. Okay, We cannot change the past, okay, but we definitely can change the present and what's to come. Um, and I feel like this is an example. If you had a falling out with them, that was for a reason. If they had a falling out with you, if they were acting this way, clingy, gossipy, it was for a reason because they were never aligned to be with you in the first place. Okay, at least not in this new cycle you're in. So, and definitely not to retrograde. But yeah, for some of you guys, you might go into a little breaky break from life and go on a vacation or excursion. I'm also tuning into. This is not on my notes, but this is what I'm feeling energetically, and I feel like you guys might be due a vacation soon and go somewhere else. This could also again send the signal to the quote unquote haters, or yeah, the haters basically, and yeah, there's that. This is gonna sound so immature, but if you're on your way to a vacation, I feel like their first speculation would probably be linked to, oh yeah, collective is dumped, so therefore they're so nosy. I don't want to get annoyed because I have laundry to do, so I'm gonna move on to the next message. Um, message number as follows. Um, this is more so on a global scale. I was tuning into like 2 weeks ago. I didn't post it because I wasn't sure if it was a spiritual war or a physical. I know there are a lot of craziness that goes on globally, and I know I get messages for different people, different scenarios, and different parts of this earth. I'm consciously aware about this, but even in this human flesh, I don't know if it's A or B sometimes, and it is what it is. What it is. However, um, like I was saying, I got this message 2 weeks ago about a war. I keep hearing a war, and during that time, um, my initial didn't think much of it because things are how they are energetically or physically. But just recently, I saw my feed on my YouTube feed of all that. Just keep in mind, this is a spiritual channel, and I'm into the energy reader, and I get messages from the divine, and it could differ from anything, literally anything. So, and I focus, as you guys know, on things that are spiritually based, which is where I want to be. But sometimes a lot of things come into fruition, and I can't really do much about it. But I saw on my feed that there was this terror attack in Moscow, and it's a lot of commotions. So, first and foremost, my prayers and thoughts will go out to you guys. Again, I know there's probably war in other places as well beside that, but this is what comes up on my feed. So I instantly felt like a connection to that war, okay, that situation. So there's that. Um, Again, I don't want to go too much in depth to it because I do have laundry. So I'm gonna keep it spiritual as much as I can. Okay, guys, let's move on. Again, side note, I do know that I have people again everywhere that is tuning in and watching my channel. At some point in the beginning, when I was on here and delivering messages that was quite spiritually based, there were some people from certain countries that had to kind of like block it because it went against their like morals and policies. So what could be like said and viewed. However, YouTube kind of dealt with that. So I am consciously aware that there are people that are watching me that the resonating could overstep. sometimes, okay, and cause a commotion. But that's not a me problem, okay? At least YouTube got my back, so let's move on. Um oh, side note, I'm not like demeaning or defaming or putting uh situations such as war to uh, any like a link in that level. That's quite absurd and uncanny for me to do or even think. But at least you guys know, okay? So now we're gonna go on to um, a little bit more tailored to the collective that watches my channel and everyday life situations. Okay, this message here is for somebody that isn't a third party. They could be thinking about cheating, okay, and that person that they cheated with are also thinking about them. Somebody's thinking about stepping out of their relationship. If they had a cheater before, they're thinking about going back to that person. If that's not the case, I feel like there's somebody that's in a relationship, a full on relationship, and they are wanting to be the third party in somebody's connection. For instance, if you're in a relationship, okay, and you hooked up with somebody in the past, you, as an example, you will feel the need to kind of connect with that person, but still be with your significant other, and flip it how you see fit. Somebody is in that vibration, okay, and is ready to take action. Okay, so just be warned about that. I don't. I'm not quite sure if it's a vice versa message, if it's you feeling this way or the person in relation to you. But I do feel like there's also the other scenario where it's like two cheaters in a relationship wants to reconnect. Okay, so there's that. I do not condone cheating. There is this thing called polyamorous relationship, but I don't feel like it applies to anyone in this scenario, in this case. So I will digress and move on to the next message, okay? This is more so in relation to a dream channeling. I'm going to keep it short, but um, it's in relation to people that are in a same sex relationship, specifically a lesbian one, um, or that recognize themselves or identify themselves as a lesbian at some point in their life. Your best friend, that's a Gemini, is pregnant, or you is a Gemini that's pregnant. You and Okay, so basically, if you have a Gemini best friend, they're pregnant and they hid their pregnancy, and if you at some point was in the realm of exploring your sexuality and your preference, the person that you hooked up with that was full on a lesbian at that point, but you heard news through your best friend that you have parted ways with. Um, that they are pregnant and they have a really close relationship, and your best friend that you kind of again drifted away from, they are um, still in contact. I don't know why you're, because I will say this, your best friend who's a Gemini, unless it's you that's a Gemini, is very indifferent. Okay, I don't feel like your connection is I don't think you guys can qualify as best friends. But if somebody were to ask and if people were to like see you guys, they're like, yeah, that's like the best friends. But your guys' connection is not that in reality. Uh, why I'm getting all these messages here, I will probably continue in dream channeling because this is something that would take place. So basically, your best friend who's a Gemini is pregnant, or you, the best friend, and somebody is still in contact with, I think for easier sake, if you have a Gemini best friend, your Gemini best friend is in contact with somebody that you hooked up with of the same gender. I'm not quite sure if your um, best friend know that you were like swinging that direction at that time. Um, but yeah, she's being very standoffish, your best friend, and I find it quite interesting how somebody that was exploring the person that also I'm hearing Amal. Okay, Amal is the person that you explored with, and your best friend is a Gemini female. Okay, and you're a female as well. And yeah, something about like midsummer, summer, and carrot cake. So we are going to continue that in the dream channeling because it's quite a lot of details. But I feel like this is going to take place during this midsummer, summertime. You guys could be Swedish, okay? Or at least live in Swedish, know Swedish. Um, so there's that. Thank you for stopping by. I knew this was quite a lot, but as always, thank you for always supporting. I've been seeing the subscribers, I've been seeing the comments, and it helps. Makes me aware, not only consciously, what my collective is intrigued in, and I'm gonna keep on doing it as long as people are tuning in. However, in hindsight, I'm not really doing it for the people because this is something that I've been guided to do by the divine. But at least I'm not talking gibberish and it resonates. So I'm actually really happy about that. So, with that being said, I'm officially done when it comes to the audience sites. Okay. Have a great day. Have a great Tuesday. Okay.